Welcome to Flash Fried. I am your host, TJ. These are your other hosts, Paul and Scotty.
You know what, TJ? No one cares.
Fuck you, Scotty, you son of a bitch.
It's fucking Scotty and Paul's show now, bitch.
Son of a bitch, Scotty.
What the hell? I've never done this to you before in my life. Damn, dude, you fucked my hair up. What you did to my hair, TJ?
Damn.
What the fuck, TJ? What the hell, dude?
Dude, you fucked him
Fucking
all
what the fuck,
up.
bitch?
What the fuck, dude? It's
Tell
not
me something.
fuck you doing my hair, TJ.
I don't know.
I'll
Man,
throw you
do
a
my hair,
fucking
TJ.
grenade.
What the hell,
you
dude? Damn.
Wild man.
You ever
Hey,
sing
that's
that
my
song
fucking
back?
hair.
You heard that song in school, Paul? Did they sing that song about killing the teacher when you were in school?
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
What
Can you
song?
sing it for me?
Yeah, we used to sing this in school. And I think that you'd be just like expelled for this now.
Uh-huh.
But when we were kids, we used to sing. It was like on top of spaghetti, all covered with blood. I shot my poor teacher with a 44 slug.
Oh, yeah.
I went to her funeral. I went to her grave.
Yep, I do remember
Everyone was throwing flowers, but I threw a grenade. That's what triggered me, because you were talking about throwing grenades.
Yeah, dude, I barely remember that, but it was grade school. I think,
Yeah, it was like
when I did
grade.
that.
It's a grade school level thing. It's like, we're gonna kill the teacher.
Right.
Nowadays, it'd be like, he's plotting an attack.
SWAT team called it. Get down.
Get down on the ground.
Drop the paperclip. Drop the. You got paper clips. Oh my God, we had to kill them all. That student had a paperclip. The other one had a pencil. They were armed.
Armed and dangerous. It's time for some news,
You know what,
gentlemen.
TJ?
Yes, what's up, Paul?
Give me some fucking good news.
Good news, huh?
Good,
Oh shit.
positive, upbeat, put a smile on your face, chicken soup for the soul news.
That's a good
All right, so some good news, everybody.
Your growth is benign, Paul.
Automated cars are racist.
Whoa.
A new study finds a potential risk with self-driving cars: failure to detect dark-skinned pedestrians.
Oh, shit. So if you're as black as the asphalt, you're in trouble with
Yes.
these?
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
I'm sorry. I had to run you over. You looked like the asphalt.
The findings speak to a bigger problem in the development of automated systems: algorithmic bias.
I just want to preempt all of the comments that are going to be on this when it gets clipped out that are saying, I don't see a problem with this. You're horrible people. Don't upvote them. I don't upvote
All
them.
you're doing is creating that.
Shut up, TJ. I can appeal to the good people in our audience
Where are they?
that don't want to insinuate that it's okay for black people to be run over
you know
by
what?
cars.
Don't be a fucking Paul automaton. Think for yourself.
Yeah.
Challenge the status quo.
weigh the benefits and negatives here.
Cost-benefit
You know what,
analysis
Paul?
begins.
Some people might fucking die, but so fucking what, dude? Price of progress, dude. Pioneers, man. We went on a covered wagon, went out west. You know what happened, people? Paul, people fucking died of dysentery. They died of disease.
Wait a minute,
They were
getting
killed by Indians. All kinds of shit happened, dude. Pioneers die sometimes, buddy.
Getting splattered all over the road because you're black is the same as being a pioneer in
They're
the Old
pioneers,
West.
dude. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We're on the cutting edge of technology, Paul. There's going to be sacrifices. Look, if the AI has to save me or you, and I have an 83% chance according to it, and you have a 78% chance, it has to save me. It's like fucking, what's that movie? Will Smith, you know what? What is it?
Will Smith, you know what?
The fucking,
The movie.
the future one, where the robots revolt.
Yeah, the future one.
Oh, iRobot.
iRobot, dude. Thank
iRobot.
you. It's like iRobot. They're gonna
Robot.
The AI is gonna make a fucking
It's pronounced
calculation.
robot. The list
That's
of
how it's gonna be.
the list of concerns about self-driving cars just got longer. In addition to worrying about how safe they are, how they'll handle tricky moral trade-offs on the road, and how they might make traffic worse, we also need to worry about how they could harm people of color. If you're a person with dark skin, you may be more likely than your white friends to get hit by a self-driving car, according to a new study out of the Georgia Institute of Technology. That's because automated vehicles may be better at detecting pedestrians with lighter skin tones. The authors of the study started out with a simple question: how accurately do state-of-the-art object detection models like those used in self-driving cars detect people from different demographic groups? To find out, they looked at a large data set of images that contained pedestrians. They divided up the people using the Fitzpatrick scale, a system of classifying human skin tones from light to dark. The researchers then analyzed how often the models correctly detected the presence of people in the light-skinned group versus how often they got it right with people in the dark-skinned group. The result, detection was 5 percentage points less accurate on average for the dark-skinned group.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, something we might want to look into.
I mean, you can't be having this happen to 5% more black people. This is not right.
Hey,
It's not right.
they should have thought about that before they had the same
ain't
skin
right.
color as the road.
You know what? These self-driving cars owe some reparations, TJ, is what I think. For the dozens of weeks.
I think it's
Of
it's interesting how
discrimination.
look at how all the cars are white too. That's pretty
Oh,
racist.
dude.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, dude, you're right. Bunch of racist ass white fucking cars driving down the
Whoa.
fucking road,
You know what?
trying to kill a black man.
This don't surprise me at all.
It's the fucking Car Klux Klan up in here.
The
Fuck
white man
this
came
shit.
up with this self-driving car bullshit. And
came
of
up with
course
the
they're
company
going to
that built the
program it to
cars.
kill more brothers. You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
population control.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's the way it be.
Wow.
I mean,
that's
if
how that
I-
goes.
If I had designed this car, I would have designed
sorry.
it to
Bunch
get
of-
more white
Next
people.
story, be quiet.
We're not
Rick
watching about
Wiles, we
racist.
must prepare our grandchildren to die rather than be microchipped.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, Rick Wiles
I gotta
knows
learn.
what's
I'm
what.
gonna get some knowledge.
For the first time, Doc, I think it's possible. I really think it's possible. I'm going to see it in my lifetime.
After this past
Man,
I
that
wouldn't bet on that,
You
dude.
could attribute that quote to every Christian that ever existed in the history of
From
Christianity.
like the 1960s
I mean,
on.
Rick
It's
Wiles-
gonna
As
be as far as
this
a
one.
microchip
Dude,
goes.
Rick Wiles is one Big Mac away from a heart attack, dude. What does he mean? Like,
well-
I'm gonna live to see it. Who knows if he's gonna live to see
because
shit?
the microchip, what he's talking about is the apocalypse.
Right, the
No, I know.
666.
Right, because the microchip to him
That
is
is the
apocalypse.
mark of the
And
beast.
every fucking Christian, dude, literally the first crop of Christians thought Christ was coming back in their lifetime.
Right. And
Dude, the
every
apocalypse is
every
gonna
generation of them have
Well,
thought that since.
There's
too.
been generation of dude.
And here's Rick Wiles just keep holding that torch 2,000 plus years now.
When me and TJ
It's
were,
gonna happen.
I was telling you this, Paul.
Well,
When me and TJ were kids, you remember Laverne, TJ? Mm-hmm. Our fucking
Our stepmom.
Our stepmom. She told us, like, me and she's like
One day, they're going to ask you to take the mark of the beast.
it's you
mark.
have a microchip
Yeah.
implanted into your head.
Because remember, you got to do...
and if you refuse, you'll be killed.
Well, she said the hand, because that's where
Yeah.
it says somewhere in the Bible you're going to
Those
have to
your
wear the
hand or your
mark.
forehead.
Yeah, you just have to you have the mark of the beast here, or maybe here too, I don't know. And
she said hand up.
she said it was going to be a microchip or a barcode that's tattooed on your skin.
She's right. We're moving towards biometrics. So there was a dude at one of our meetups that was showing off his implant.
Yes.
He had a whatever it is, I don't even know the terminology, but he had a chip in his hand
Yeah.
that unlocked his phone automatically when it was in his hand.
Cool.
And he showed it to me. He handed me his phone.
I'm taking the mark.
He handed me his phone. He was like, I was like, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, seriously. He showed me the kit. He actually brought it because he thought I would think it was cool. Because
Yeah.
I've talked about this, like,
Yeah.
transhumanist
The
shit.
merging of man and
So
technology.
he showed me his kit. He had a better chip, and it was all like surgical shit and in a sealed bag and stuff. And I was looking at it, and then he goes, "Watch, I'll show you how it works." He hands me his phone, and it's just locked, and there's no like, doesn't ask for a code or anything. It's just like I can't do anything to unlock it. I press all the buttons. I hand it back to him. He's like, "Just watch. Put it in my hand." And he put it in his hand, and as soon as it was in his hand, it unlocked.
Cool.
And that's the type of shit you can do with it. He was
Now, was it actually implanted in his skin? Or
it was
or-
under his skin. Yeah,
under
he
his
did
skin.
it himself.
Wow.
Because he couldn't find a doctor that was willing to do it. So, but it's just it was like a big fat syringe, and you put it like in the meat between your fucking fingers.
I don't think you should do
There
self-surgery.
was a guy.
That no, he was a cutting edge, like bleeding edge transhumanist guy.
Right.
He was like, it's inadvisable to do this, but I looked online and I watched tons of tutorials and stuff, and I was as safe as I could be. And he was
I
like,
just don't
and
understand why
honestly-
physicians would refuse to do it.
because it's like
It's dangerous to put a foreign object in your body. Like, there's a guy trying to put a camera in the back of his head for a year,
Right.
and he got him getting infected.
But
like,
it seems like you'd be better off with a surgeon doing it than trying to do it yourself.
Well, some people have had
well,
surgeons
they've been
do that stuff.
implanting that kind of stuff in animals safely forever.
Right, so like I don't believe it's all of a sudden way too dangerous.
Well,
No.
you could do it, but it's like
Anyway,
I mean,
hold-
look,
hold
people,
on,
people
hold
have
on.
artificial joints
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
so you can do it. I'm just saying it's a process because it's going to be ongoing.
But anyway, let's hear Rick Wiles about the beast.
last week,
After this week, I now think it's
Rick Wiles and the Doofus Squad.
that I can be alive and see Christ
Rick,
return.
what is our opinion?
Rick Wiles and the ill-fitting
Before-
suits.
I could be alive and see Christ come back. You're not. You ain't seeing it. You ain't seeing it. Anyway, why would he need to? If you really believed in this bullshit, which you don't, because no one really does, why would you need to see it in your lifetime? Because won't you see it the second you die anyway? Because you're going to heaven and Jesus can be right there, like Rick Wiles, welcome. So like, why? What's this big impetus for it to be in your lifetime?
Yeah.
Because you believe that your lifetime is going to span eternity, and that as soon as you die, you're going straight to fucking heaven.
Rick Wiles needs a lot of fucking money, and there has to be a sense of urgency. If it's like it can happen whenever,
He's coming. He's coming, guys.
It has to be always imminent.
Don't know.
Anytime.
You don't know. But now, this thing's moving so fast that I'm
Moving so
now
fast
thinking
nowhere.
It's very possible
I'm
that
now
I'm
willing
going to be
to
alive,
say.
alive to see it. But I do know this. I have 2 children. And I have grandchildren. And I've got to do everything I can to make sure they are ready.
Way to dance around the perverse fucking, like, obvious darkness in Christianity of wishing for horrible suffering on all your children and grandchildren. You old crotchety fuck. Way to try and tap dance around that bullet storm.
Oh, he's going to go further. Let's listen.
Oh, God, my soul grieves for the children. The little
Oh, I'm
children.
sure it does, you old sick fuck. You were just
1 year old.
beaming with fucking pride about being old, being alive to see it happen just so you could be right. But now you're going to try and cover your fucking ass? Come
Right
on.
now, 2, 3, 4. And they're growing up in this godless world.
Yeah, and they're going to burn.
And they're going to be indoctrinated
No.
to believe that they
They're not, you don't have to worry about that. A lot of them are going to burn, motherfucker.
should be chipped. You're going to have to take a stand for Jesus Christ. And it's going to cost you your life.
Yep. Same bullshit.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying to you.
I'm telling you the truth. Can we clip that?
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
myself spiritually and psychologically strengthened for that day.
Televangelist greatest hits. Rock
not-
music kills,
Look,
it makes
I
your
can
children commit
take-
suicide and murder people. Oh, you're gonna get a fucking dude. They've been saying this shit for like 30 fucking years at least. I mean, the
Yep.
entire time I've been alive.
I mean, when our stepmom told us about this shit, she told us from the perspective of like, this is something you got to deal with in your life. There's going to come a time when you got to choose between taking the mark of the beast or death. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, mark of the beast, please. You know?
Yeah.
all fucking nonsense, man. I mean, this shit just never ends, and people just keep falling for every generation of fucking humans. Like, when are we gonna banish this fucking ignorant bullshit? Like, when are people gonna stop just fucking listening to people like this and going, that makes sense? Like, where's the evidence?
Because you know what's going to happen? Rick Wiles is going to croak, and Jesus isn't going to be back yet.
Yeah, what a shot.
And then some acolyte of his is going to get old, and he's going to be doing the same show, saying the same shit, and he's going to croak, and Jesus ain't going to be back yet. Ad infinitum, until human beings either don't exist or completely forget about Christianity in its totality. Like this has just been replayed over and over and over again. He's just one of these fucking religious hucksters, another soothsayer saying the end is nigh. He's no better than the bum that you see on the corner in Times Squares with you know, the nukes are coming. No better than me.
But he dresses it up. I mean, look, he's wearing a fucking suit. He has a nice set.
I
He has a
can
bunch of
handle
people
it.
surrounding him.
I'm
We're all
sorry.
toadies.
I
We all
didn't
just
say
nod their heads vacantly. Oh, yeah, Rick, you're right.
Anyway, so yeah, everyone's going to be microchipped, and you better teach your kids to die rather than accept microchips.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause that's definitely something we know ends well.
Dude, this motherfucker, dude. I wish we could have a movie like scene where it's like they come to give him the microchip and he's all like, oh, please give me the microchip. Oh, God, I want it. Oh, don't kill me. Don't hurt me. I live in a mansion, please. That's exactly what that motherfucker be doing.
Trump sets record with highest trade deficit ever.
Look how proud he is.
Oh, yeah. We're going to take care of the deficit.
Making America great again by exporting more wealth and bringing less in.
Here is a remarkable and yet entirely unremarkable story. The Commerce Department announced this morning that the country's trade deficit last year was the biggest in U.S. history. It's $891
America
billion
first.
for merchandise, $621 billion when the service sector is added, and $419 billion with China alone.
The huckster did it again, dude.
Wah-da, wah, wah, wah.
The American American people have been fleeced once again by a con man. What a shock. Fucking retards. The highest ever. The highest. We got sold by this guy. I'm going to cut the deficit. Oh, well, looky here.
My
Yet
tariffs.
Again. Yet again.
My tariffs have brought jobs back to America. Oh, Jesus.
Let these idiots go to their rallies and go, Trump for defending us.
It's just another example of one of these politicians
Look,
smiling
this is
in people's faces.
This is
and then run out
Obama's
the back
doing.
door.
Look, this is still just fallout from Obama. I'm still trying to fix the Obama mess.
Right. Yeah, that's always what it is. It's always the previous dudes.
Blah blah
problem.
blah blah blah. That's it. I mean, it's just it's just funny.
I just love the picture they chose
Yeah.
for this.
Hey guys, how you liking them fucking record trade deficits, eh?
Tired of winning yet? Tired of exporting more American goods for less money?
Oh yeah, and a lot of countries. Of course, we're in the midst of a bit of a trade war now, with Trump trying to renegotiate every trade deal under the sun
I mean, it's just interesting.
and
because-
putting all these tariffs
And look,
up.
I've heard people argue, like, look, some of this is that they knew that these tariffs were coming, so they imported more stuff.
And a lot of the countries are now trying to tariff
Why
us.
don't we
so
just
it's
sell
a bunch
our
of-
booty holes to China at this point?
Why don't we?
Why don't we just hit the accelerator pedal on what we all know is coming, and let's just become China 2 or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Fuck that. Let's just go invade China and take over and be like, yeah, now we owe ourselves
We
that
would
money.
dude.
No,
Listen,
we would
to me.
fuck China up, dude.
TJ.
We
you
would
don't
fuck 'em
know
up. They
what
got
the fuck you're talking
They
about.
got the number, dude.
A
They have
tiny little island nation,
yeah.
supported by China, fought us to a fucking standstill.
We're not gonna fight it like Vietnam, dude.
Oh, how are we gonna fight it, TJ? With nukes? Because they got those too.
Vietnam isn't an island nation.
Well, how are you gonna fight it? They have the biggest
We're gonna
standing army in the
we're gonna
world. They've got
drone
more
strike
troops
the
than
shit
we
out of
do.
them. Oh yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Dude, our military technology is vastly superior. We have
You just don't
we have
understand,
naval
man.
superiority like
You know,
1,000 times over.
Their country's like 3 times the size of ours.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a great.
What are we
new
gonna bomb? If,
great new
if
territory
we're
for us.
bombing if we're bombing an area where they're just gonna move their shit out of that area into the wide expanse of their country, you can't carpet bomb,
Dude,
like
Japan-
a third of the planet.
Japan took over a big swath of China at one point. Mongolia did.
That was a different time.
yeah. Well, it's not that different. The Chinese
No one, look,
are not going to
no
stand
one
up
wants
to the
that.
imperial might of America. Dude.
That trade deficit you just looked at, what do you think they're spending that money on, TJ?
Dude, here's the fucking problem.
Military.
Here's the problem with that, though. It's
What?
like China manufactures so many important
yeah.
things.
So we need to seize the manufacturing base of
I'm
China.
gonna see shit off of China.
Are you
Seize it.
joking?
Dude, the days of
Seize
American
it.
hegemony in the fucking military arena have been over.
I think it's time. I think the reason we've been putting all this money in our military is because we're just biding our time, waiting for the global takeover.
Your
Planet
problem
America.
Your problem is it's been too long since we had an enemy that literally kicked our ass. You know what I mean? It hasn't happened in our lifetime, and so people forget. Like they've got hubris like TJ's got here. Like just invade China, we
Take
kick
it
their
over.
asses.
Take
no
it.
fucking way, dude.
Take China.
That would be a boondoggle. It
right.
would be horrible.
even if the U.S. Let's say the U.S. did go to war with China and won, or whatever, and we took over, like, you know how fucking it'd be impossible to administer that society. You think the U.S. military couldn't administer a country the size of Iraq?
Have you ever heard
China?
of insurgency?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Now
like,
think about
no, worry about that.
insurgency on 1/3 of the planet. And
Don't
that's what
worry
you're
about
talking
that.
about taking over China.
Don't
it's
worry.
just a bullshit fool's errand. TJ.
You know what we'll do? We'll take over China and give it to Russia, so that they have to worry about the
What's
nation
likely
building.
to happen is we're going to continue funneling more and more money to China, and they're going to use it to grow stronger and stronger. And in about 100 years, they're going to come for us.
Well, China, don't act like China don't have problems. They got some problems.
They have huge problems.
They
I don't think-
they ain't in no position
I
to
don't
take
think
over
Chi-
shit.
Dude, China doesn't want to invade the U.S. anyways. If China wanted anything,
They're not going to invade.
They would just want to have a stranglehold on the U.S. economy.
That's exactly what they're doing.
That's what they would want.
they
That's
already
what
got.
they're going to
they already
continue to
fucking
do.
got that.
Well, they're going to continue to do that. I'm like, they don't have a total fucking anaconda vice grip on it yet.
Oh, they do.
But they're purchasing
I
every
think-
day.
I think you underestimate the tendrils of China that are in our economy at this point.
You know, China's biggest factor though is that China has a rapidly aging population. So India is actually going to be the most populous country. So a lot of manufacturing may end up going to India, which then will give them greater power too. I mean, the developing
They're about to be a nuclear wasteland anyway. They're about to.
The
nuke with
developing countries of the
Pakistan.
world are going to be the source of economic growth
What?
in the next 100 years. So the world stage as we see it now is going to shift radically.
I don't
It's gonna
know.
shift radically.
I think a lot's gonna have to do with which country has the most automation the quickest too.
Oh yeah, I mean, technology is a
bleep.
huge factor. I mean, that's you.
Because I have the sneaking suspicion that countries like the United States are going to be heavily automated before India.
If the U.S. is a technology leader, then it will remain
Maybe
a
not
dominant,
China.
a dominant power, or China, or whatever.
There ain't gonna be no fucking labor
You know what
unions in China.
do you
to
know what China-
bitch about it? China's just gonna do it, and they're gonna beat us at it. They're already beating us at it.
Well, you know where
There
China's-
are already restaurants in China. They're completely and utterly manned by robots. Sit down restaurants.
There's restaurants like that here, I think. But
I don't know.
There are some.
There are in China where China is really investing in automation. But my understanding,
Factories.
well, we're doing that. But where they're standing out is surgery and shit. Because
Really?
apparently there's not enough surgeons in China, so they're really working hard to develop these automated surgeons that can do like these basic tasks a lot better than a human doctor could because their
Cool.
fine motor skills are so crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it still has to be
Investing in the longevity and healthcare of their citizens
But
and
we
using
all know what's going to
technology.
happen
That's
eventually.
like, wow.
If humans exist long enough, dude, we're just going to have a one world globalist government. It's going to happen, dude. The globalists are going to win.
And that's why America has to take over. Brennan predicts Mueller report, more indictments on Friday. I don't have inside knowledge.
Wait a minute. That's a contradictory statement.
He's making a prediction based on no inside knowledge.
Are you one who's willing to, at this stage of the game, venture a guess about where Robert Mueller is in his process and how close he to filing a report? And beyond
We covering this guy's guess, dude.
that, what you would expect from such a report?
Well, I think Robert Mueller wants to be able to conclude his work and turn over the investigative threads to the Southern District of New York, the Eastern District of Virginia, and other jurisdictions as appropriate. As we're coming up to 2 years, so I think he does want to conclude that. I wouldn't be surprised if, for example, this week on Friday, not knowing anything about it, but Friday is the day that the grand jury indictments come down. And also this Friday is better than next Friday because next Friday is the 15th of March, which is the Ides of March. And I don't think Robert Mueller will want to have that dramatic flair of the Ides of March when he is going to be delivering.
You could
what I
make
think
an
are gonna be
argument
his
that this
indictment.
guy is just a seasoned political, operative. Obviously, he was a former director of the CIA, so he might just be looking at the optics of.
I mean,
what he
he's
would
got
release.
better. He's got better.
But he definitely has insider knowledge, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's speculating. Robert Mueller's going to do. I mean, it might go on for. Like, here's the thing: CIA is like a dude that's been edging himself for like 6 months when it comes to this Mueller report. Like every one of their stories is just like Mueller report ? Mueller hints that report may be dropping soon. Insiders say that more Mueller indictments coming. They're just so hard for this.
Mueller!
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! I'm gonna explode all over this fucking Mueller report. And so they're having anybody on that hates Trump to rabidly like sit around like a bunch of goblins.
And no one's
like,
gonna fucking read it, dude. The best part about it is like these motherfuckers the analysts might read it, and obviously they'll give you the
They're
pertinent
gonna get the
sections.
redacted version.
Yeah, but it's gonna be. But I'm saying, with the average American person, even with the redacted version, whatever the public version that gets released to people, no one's gonna fucking read that. They're just gonna go to.
I'm
these-
gonna read it.
Well, you might.
I'm
You're a
reading that
fucking.
motherfucker.
But most people are just gonna go get an aggregate fucking news site. They're gonna fucking click on it and go, okay, Mueller report says Trump's a dick or whatever.
Mueller report says Trump's a real piece of fucking shit. So, former CIA Director John Brennan, how big of a stupid meanie face is Trump, and how fucked is he soon when Mueller drops that report? Oh, let me tell you, he's a super duper ultra dodecahedron fucked.
Wow, that's a lot
Wow,
of fucks.
would you say it would be a normal fuck or a pig fuck? Oh, a total pig fuck.
Dude, I actually might watch MSNBC if that's how they cover the news.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
that sounds
basically
awesome.
that without
Without the
No,
profanity.
without the cuss.
Oh, that's that naughty language you use, Paul.
I think Paul just revealed to me that MSNBC needs to cuss more, like all the time.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Maybe we should just start our own news agency where we cover the news just like they do, but
Isn't that what we're doing
like
now?
that. I guess, yeah.
Next
Trump's
big
gonna
news.
get pig fucked today. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Guys, I got a feeling. I got a fucking
I got a
feeling down deep in my
feeling.
soul.
Yeah,
What's your feeling, Paul?
Thursday's the day.
Thursday, huh?
Mueller report Thursday.
That's tomorrow.
Mark it, dude.
Mark
Save
it.
this.
Mark tomorrow on
clip.
your calendars.
You know what, Paul? I'm gonna go with him.
Write
Friday.
Paul's ego on your calendar.
The president of Brazil declared war on Carnival after South America's biggest street party made him a laughingstock. So for those of you who don't know, Jair, I don't know, is it Jair or Jair? Jair? I don't know.
I don't fucking care.
Bolsonaro. I'm just going to call him Brazilian Trump.
Just call him Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro.
He's Brazilian Trump, basically. So Brazil's far-right president appears to be trying to discredit Carnival, Brazil's biggest street party, after people staged mass protests to mock him there. Bolsonaro tweeted a sexually explicit video of Carnival goers on Tuesday night in an attempt to tarnish its reputation. It shows 3 people dancing on a roof while one man urinates on another man's head. During Carnival, the Portuguese word for carnival, yeah, thanks, their Business Insider, Brazil comes to a standstill as locals attend samba schools, spectacular parades, or dress up in costumes to party on the street. This year's Carnival took place from February 28th to March 5th. Bolsonaro says he feels uncomfortable sharing the images, but he has to expose the truth so people are aware of their priorities. This is what Brazilian carnival street parties have turned into, he said. Yeah, man. What kind of fucking carnival is that with people wilding and doing crazy shit in the streets, man? It's almost like an exuberant celebration of life and all that.
Why are people...
Can't have that shit in the new far-right Brazil.
Why are these adults not thinking of the children, TJ? What example are they setting for children?
What example are they setting for good, clean, fucking Christian, moral majority, alt-right
Right
Brazilians,
before Lent, dude.
Sick.
Dude, we should open up a restaurant called Bolsonaro's.
Welcome to Bolsonaro's.
It's a Bolsonaro.
Why is he Italian? It
just
does sound. It sounds like an Italian dish to me more than a restaurant.
Yeah, I'll try the Bolsonaro, please. Does that come with a red sauce or a white? You can have it any way you want. Here at the Bolsonaro's.
Take one Bolsonaro bowl, please. All right. So Bolsonaro sucks. Anyway, teens involved in swastika party apologize as outrage grows. My actions were disgusting.
What type of fucking party?
Come on, man.
Newport Beach, California. Teens who attended an Orange County party this weekend that included Nazi symbolism reportedly had this to say. I want to express my deepest remorse and regret. I made a poor decision. We made a very big mistake. I am so sorry. My actions were disgusting, appalling, irresponsible.
Wow. I hate that this is the culture that we live in, man, where people do something that's against the code, right? And this is how they have to atone for it. They've got to come on and give an apology that they literally never would have given if there wasn't social pressure on them. If you were just some Joe Schmo and you walked by their little party and saw them playing Nazi beer pong, and you were like, "Hey, that's a racist thing what you did there, and what you ought to do is apologize for that." They'd probably go, "Fuck you, Jew," and keep playing fucking, you know what I mean?
Yep. So this is what happened. At the house party in Costa Mesa, the high school students were playing a drinking game with red Solo cups and ping pong balls. At some point in the night, the plastic cups ended up in the shape of a swastika. What? What? Okay, so someone made them into a shape of a swastika. So some Solo cups. Okay. It's not clear how many people helped form the symbol, but a parent of one of the students who was at the party said that as more cups were added and moved around, someone noted it was starting to look like a swastika and completed the image. When it was done, a dozen or so teenagers crowded around the display and posed for photos, their arms raised in a Nazi salute. Okay, so it sounds like a bunch of people being stupid.
No, Scotty. What this was is a secret meeting of the high school Nazi
It was
club.
a bunch of fucking drunken, stupid teenagers. They're like, "Oh,
it looks like it's
whoa, dude, it comes with a swastika. Oh, Nazi symbol. This party's awesome, dude. We're crazy.
Oh man, we're nuts here, dude.
These fucking dorks.
German rage
I
cage.
hate this shit, man.
One partyo captioned a photo, presumably referenced.
I hate that there are little
sorry.
fucking nerds out there playing beer pong with fucking swastikas, and I hate that we live in a society
It sounds
that,
like it
That
just
cares.
that thinks that any
It's not relevant.
of these kids are really genuinely sorry about this, other than the fact that Twitter, got mad at them.
Well, how
or
about
whatever the
are any of
fuck.
them actually Nazis? It seems like what
No.
happened was it started to look like that. Some idiots like, oh, and they pointed it out, and then it just became, oh,
Dude,
let's
I
take
drew
pictures.
a swastika in the sand at a beach once with a stick, man. Am I a fucking Nazi, dude?
Get the fuck off this show, you
Fuck
piece
you.
of shit.
Get out of here, Paul.
You Nazi
Get up,
piece
get,
of shit.
Paul. Get.
Wow.
I'm just joking, Paul. We're all Nazis here.
Wait a
It's
minute.
fine.
I can draw. I get kicked off for drawing a swastika, but Scotty can paint 311 on the side of a house and get away with it, dude.
That's true. 311 is way more offensive than Nazism.
Yeah, dude.
All right, man. I'll see myself out.
Come on, Reginald. You got to come on, Reginald. I'll entertain you. Come on, Reginald.
And by the way, I carved into the house,
Yeah, and it was actually me.
and it was actually TJ too.
Ryder business dean resigns over school's choice to not allow Chick-fil-A.
Fuck yeah, dude. You know what? There's a line in the sand. You're not going to allow delicious, crispy fried chicken into your fucking university. Fuck you.
Lawrenceville, New Jersey. A dean at a New Jersey university resigned, saying the school's decision to not consider bringing Chick-fil-A to campus
What a brave
because
man.
its opposition to the LGBT community made her feel like I had been punched in the stomach.
Wow, somebody cares a lot about Chick-fil-A. Or is it this stupid ideology that comes behind Chick-fil-A that you cared about? I bet it was that.
Cynthia Newman, former dean of Rider University's College of Business Administration, said her views as a very committed Christian and the fast food chain's views mirror one another. Newman's resignation was first reported Tuesday by Campus Reform, a conservative news site that bills itself as a higher education watchdog. In a video interview, Newman said she had resigned as dean last month. She confirmed the resignation to the Associated Press. Rider University, located outside Trenton, had sent a survey last year asking students which restaurants they'd like to see on campus. In November, Newman said a second survey was sent but did not include Chick-fil-A as a choice. The university said at the time the restaurant was taken off the list because of its opposition to the LGBT community and their values do not align with Rider's values. So the dean is like, bullshit, it aligns with my values, so she left. Like, what a stupid, weird...
Dude, she says, hold on. She says,
It seems
I
like
felt...
ancient history. Do they still actually donate money to these organizations?
I think they kind of stopped, but whatever.
She says, I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach when I read that statement because I'm a very committed Christian. I really felt it very personally. Dude, how fucked up do you have to be to make your own personal self-worth, like,
Yeah, tied to a fast food
tied
chain.
to Chick-fil-A?
That's what I was talking about when with everything being politicized now. Like, we can't even...
Like,
a
you know what?
chicken restaurant
I just want to go to
political now.
look. I go to Chick-fil-A sometimes, and I don't give a shit. Like people go, oh, well, yeah, against this. Like, so
Yeah.
there's every fucking company, every stripe of fucking person in the world is against something that I'm against. Does it mean I can't be around people because they ate at Chick-fil-A?
I'll take the
How far does it go?
piss
What
on the
an
grave
immense-
of Matthew Shepard sandwich, please.
What an immense failure of a dean. Like
Why
if
is
you're
this so
if you're like
silly?
you're gonna resign and resign your duties to make sure that that school is good for students because they decided they didn't want a chicken restaurant on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's also point
Wow.
out. Let's also point out
What
the
a leader
stupidity.
they've lost.
Let's also point out the stupidity of the people who are like aghast at the possibility of a Chick-fil-A being on campus too. Like, a fucking restaurant that serves chicken sandwiches should not be controversial one way or the other, where you feel like you need to stand with or against it.
Yeah, because the former CEO gave money basically because he owned the company to these organizations.
And Chick-fil-A was the first company to kind of do this, like, we're going to politically divide people over our product bullshit.
Well, then I think it's on them.
Yeah, they're the ones who
Yeah.
created this.
It was a fucking stupid decision, but you know what? Chick-fil-A's are packed, so it doesn't. I don't think it really matters.
Dude, I love Chick-fil-A.
Fucking that
dude.
shit. It's
I
the
di-
same thing with In-N-Out Burger in fucking California. They've got like a little Bible verse on the inside of every little or all their cups.
Right.
And it's just like, why? Like, why would you feel the need to step into the... Because, like, because that's the end result. At the end of the day, if these students don't want the Chick-fil-A on their campus and they've got to vote and they didn't vote for it,
Yeah. Well, it was taken off.
nothing of value was
It was
lost.
taken off the ballot, I think, is the issue. But-
Well, because
Yeah.
the students didn't want it.
Well, because some students didn't want it because they're like, it's anti-LGBT. So they were never allowed to, students were never actually allowed to vote on Chick-fil-A. They just kind of took it off before the vote was had because they're
It
like.
says over school's choice not to allow Chick-fil-A.
Right. So basically the school decided based on, I'm sure, complaints from the LGBT community that they were not going to even make Chick-fil-A an option on the ballot for
Who's
what
the school? Isn't that the dean?
no, apparently not.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is vague. Like,
Because the dean seems blindsided by the whole thing. So
It-
we don't
yeah,
know.
like who's the school?
It
then?
seemed like they were trying to figure out what company they wanted to bring in as a tenant. And the first survey, this was on there. The second survey, when people got wind of it, like, why is this even an option? Then it was removed. So I don't
Whatever.
think this is even committing to anything. This is kind of just like, I mean,
fuck, man. I like,
it's just people. It's people getting upset about the dumbest shit, dude.
If I could make every Chick-fil-A on the planet get consumed by a black hole right now, I would go get Chick-fil-A real quick and then I'd hit the button.
Dude, don't do that.
It just does, but it doesn't fucking
No,
matter.
fuck you. I'm gonna be the last man on earth to get a spicy.
Yeah,
chicken
you're a
you
piece of
sandwich.
suck. You
fucking
go
shit,
fucking.
dude.
You're a piece of garbage.
You're probably the last motherfucker on the planet to get spicy Wendy's chicken nuggets too.
Google
Ooh,
finds
that was good.
Google finds it's
No longer available.
Okay. Google finds it's
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, TJ. How
You want to
many?
do this or not?
How many
you want to
fucking
do this
times?
fucking story or not?
How
you want
many
to
times
do
do
this
you
fucking story or
interrupt
not,
my ass,
bitch?
motherfucker? So fuck you, bitch.
You're garbage. You read it.
All right. Google finds underpaying many men as it addresses wage equity.
All right, there you go. So, San Francisco. When Google conducted a study recently to determine whether the company was underpaying women and members of minority groups, it found, to the surprise of just about everyone, that men were being paid less money than women for doing similar work. The study, which disproportionately led to pay raises for thousands of men, is done every year, but the latest findings arrived as Google and other companies in Silicon Valley faced increasing pressure to deal with gender issues in the workplace, from sexual harassment to wage discrimination. Gender inequality is a radioactive topic at Google. The Labor Department is investigating whether the company systematically underpays women. It has been sued by former employees who claim they were paid less than men with the same qualifications. And last fall, thousands of Google employees protested the way the company handles sexual harassment claims against top executives. Critics said the results of the pay study could give a false impression. Company officials acknowledged that it did not address whether women were hired at a lower pay grade than men with similar qualifications.
I just want to point out, these are the people, these are the arbiters of what kind of shit goes on YouTube. These are the fucking people that are casting aspersions and judging all the fucking people making content on YouTube and other sites on these social media platforms are total hypocrites and totally guilty of this shit. Yes, Google does underpay its employees because every company does that almost certainly. Why would they not? I mean, do you think they're dumb? You think a company that's figured out these search algorithms hasn't figured out employment algorithms of how to fucking pay people less money? Why wouldn't they do that?
Listen to this moving goalpost. Google seems to be advancing a flawed and incomplete sense of equality by making sure men and women receive similar salaries for similar work, says Joel Emerson, chief executive of Paradigm, a consulting company that advises companies on strategies for increasing diversity. This is not the same thing as addressing equity, she said, which would involve examining the structural hurdles that women face as engineers. So it was all, there's pay disparity, there's pay disparity, there's pay disparity. And Google's like, well, actually, there is a pay disparity, but it looks like men are actually being paid less. Well,
Not an issue.
you're not addressing the fucking structural hurdles, though. What about them structural hurdles, Google? It's like, you come to them with one criteria, they meet it, and then it's like, well, here's our that's bullshit. That's a bullshit
not-
criteria. We reject that criteria
You can never
now.
replace them.
No, well, because here's the thing.
We
It was
can't be
never, It was
pleasable.
never about any of their criteria. It's
about being
That's the
dissatisfied.
ammunition in the war. It's about their way of thinking becoming the prevailing way. Flexing their power and getting more of it. Getting more and more companies
So
to
it's
kowtow.
yeah, and
more
it's not
more
tethered to any real
politicians
metric.
to kowtow. More and more social media figures to kowtow. More and more news anchors to kowtow. That's what they're fucking doing. They don't care about any one of these single issues or the conglomerate of them. What they care about is controlling how you think and what you can say and having complete and utter puppet mastery over the narrative. That's what they care about.
Paul, what you said was double plus good, dude.
Thank you.
I really truly enjoyed it. It was very good.
Double plus good.
It was double plus good.
Double
Nice.
plus good.
Well,
the
be well,
highest
Scotty.
level of good.
Be well.
You be well. Paul.
Okay.
High five.
JP,
High five.
JP Morgan to stop financing private prisons and detention centers after protest. We will no longer bank the private prison industry, a company spokesman.
Well,
person
brah
said.
fucking vo. How about Are you still going to bank the third world dictator industry, though?
Probably.
I bet you're still going to bank that. How about the crooked politicians hiding money industry? You going to bank that? I bet you are. How about the Wall Street executives hiding massive amounts of money industry
All
and
fine.
bouncing money through your bank's books into foreign banks so that they can pay no taxes? You going to keep funding that industry? I bet so. Fuck you, JP Morgan Chase. I don't even want TJ to read this article because this is a puff piece for a piece of shit that should have died in 2008 that we all bailed out with our tax money. JP Morgan Chase should have went belly up with Bear Stearns and the rest of them.
Too big to fail.
Fuck this company. If you know what, dude, if there is a vile, horrible thing on this planet, a horrible piece of human misery, JP Morgan Chase funded part of it, guaranteed. Money passed through their hands. If you could take a fingerprint analysis of every bank that touched it, every dirty dollar would have JP Morgan Chase's thumbprint on it. Fuck this company. Fuck anybody that wants to puff them up and make them act like they're being progressive or moving into the new age. It's all a ruse. This is the evil fuck. This is the new Hitler, not Trump. Not any of these politicians that everybody seems to hate. This is it. Fuck you, JP Morgan Chase.
Paul rallying against the big banks.
financiers,
I can't
dude.
stand banks.
These are the
in
people
general.
that fund innovation in this country, Paul.
No, these are the people that stymie it and stifle it.
You know
and
what?
Take the
I'll
and
tell
take
you what,
the
though.
gains from it and turn it
They're
into
true to the
endless
founder.
derivatives that mean nothing.
They're true to the fucking nature of the guy that founded this company. JP Morgan, dude, was a fucking ruthless, cutthroat businessman. But back then, it was like people admired that about you in business. Now it's like there's like a subterfuge of like, we're a good ethical company.
Now
Like,
they're
Chase is not.
grifters. Now they're just money changers.
They move money from one place to the other and
Yep.
they get rich. That's all
Not,
it is.
it's not even money. They just move numbers around on a fucking spreadsheet and make money doing that. Fuck
Yeah.
this company. They're vampires on the American system, and they should all be fucking like, we need to heavily bring back the fucking heavy regulation on the banking industry. And I'm talking about like post fucking Great Depression era banking industry regulations.
We need new strong regulations. I mean, like people talk about Glass-Steagall, but like that's antiquated. They need they need that law, but something like for
Break
the
up
modern
the big
age.
banks, make banks local again and lend locally and shit, keep them smaller, put heavy federal regulations to keep them from growing into this giant vampire squid that's sucking our fucking blood, man. Sorry, I'm channeling my Alex Jones-esque.
But they won't be funding the private prison.
The interdimensional aliens are here.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good
So,
for them.
Yeah, thanks for your PR move, JP
That's their
Morgan
good
Chase.
deed of the century.
Oh, look,
for
private
them.
prisons were done.
Father guilty of helping plan acid attack on his 3-year-old son, jailed for 16 years.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Is there a video of this?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't want to watch.
Yeah,
some
I don't
kid get
really.
hit in the
I don't really
face
want
with
to see
acid.
it. A father convicted of planning an
I think,
acid.
I think it's a news story.
Well, whatever.
I don't think they're going to show the kid getting hit with acid.
Well, it looks like they are here, so whatever. I ain't doing it. A father convicted of planning.
wait.
What?
You.
Yeah.
You're so this is what your moral outrage. This is the line, TJ, of TJ's moral outrage where it begins.
Just don't. I mean, you don't need to worry about where my moral outrage
Oh,
line
but
is.
there's so many times you're like, I don't give a fuck. Let's see it. Let's watch it. I'm like, is there a news thing here? You're like, no. Oh heavens, no. Oh no. I must point out your hypocrisy, TJ.
I don't. No one gives a shit about my hypocrisy. Can we talk about the fucking story? A father convicted of planning an acid attack on his 3-year-old son has been jailed for 16 years. The man and 5 others were found guilty of conspiring to throw sulfuric acid with the intent to burn, maim, or disfigure in the attack in July 2018. The father, 40, cannot be named to protect the identity of his child. His 5 accomplices were jailed between 12 and 14 years at Worcester or whatever the fuck, Crown Court. Judge Robert Jukes, QC. I don't know what the QC is probably supposed to be pronounced some way. I don't know what it is. Sentencing told them they had carried out a monstrous crime with an obviously strong acid that was probably from a car battery. So, like, not only was this father involved in an acid attack against his 3-year-old son, but he got, like, a bunch of accomplices together to do it as well. like 6 people sitting around plotting this acid attack against this kid. So do you want to take a guess as to what the motivation was here?
To get back at his mother, who was a bitch.
Kind of. Prosecutors argue the attack happened during a custody battle for the child with the boy's mother, and said the defendant hoped the attack would show she was unfit to look after him.
So, okay. Got it.
So he was basically trying to do...
Horribly disfigure his child so that he could get custody.
I'm going
of
to
it.
acid attack the kid with my 5 accomplices while he's in her custody,
Yeah.
thus making it appear as if she's a bad custodian so that I get custody.
So we know he went to jail, but the real question is, did she end up getting custody?
No, I think actually he's getting custody.
Wow.
They're gonna let him. She took one look at the acid-soaked kid, and she's like, I don't even want this anymore.
I was gonna use gasoline and just burn the little bastard.
This guy's fucking retarded. Why don't you just fucking plant drugs on his fucking wife or something, or ex-wife or whatever? Like, why does he need to fucking throw
Why didn't he
acid
just
on
have
a
her
kid?
murked? I mean, if he's willing to go so far as to maim his own child,
Yeah, true.
why didn't he just hire some fucking street thug to murk his wife?
Yeah, I mean, he was able to find 5 accomplices, so, like, why didn't he just have one of them go...
Make it look like a robbery or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really weird story. I'm going to assume that they're Muslims, even though it never explicitly says it,
Why?
because Muslims love acid attacks.
At first, I was like, they gave the kid acid, and I'm like, oh, they threw acid on him. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh.
I mean, one would be bad, but Jesus Christ, fucking throwing fucking sulfuric acid on somebody? It's like, I don't know what kind of acid they use, but
He said it was from a car battery.
Yeah, well, they
So
said it
whatever's
was...
in a car battery.
They said it was most
I don't know.
likely from a car battery,
Wow,
but the
okay.
judge didn't know.
What the fuck, dude? Like, I'm surprised this happened in the UK, so for once it wasn't America that did some retarded shit.
Oh, it probably will be. Now, this is a story... Maybe you guys can help me understand this, because I don't even know if I really understand what I'm reading here.
All right.
Pentagon awards Lockheed Martin nearly $1 billion for Saudi missile system deal.
Okay.
The Pentagon awarded Lockheed Martin $946 million on behalf of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the defense giant's THAAD missile defense
Well,
system.
it's probably they have to sell it. Like, it's probably just to deal with, like, the U.S. has to be the one to give them the technology. So they're giving the U.S., or in this case, the defense contractor, Lockheed Martin, the money to develop it here, and then it's to be sent there. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it says the Pentagon awarded Lockheed Martin $946 million on behalf of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the defense giant's THAAD missile defense system, the Defense Department announced Monday.
Yeah, so it's not like the U.S. is just the middleman for them to buy the shit.
But why does it say the Pentagon awarded Lockheed Martin $946 million?
It's probably how they have to sell it to them. They probably can't sell that to them directly, there probably is a law or something.
But is that American tax dollars?
Yes, if it came from the
That's
Pentagon.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
defense budget money.
So we're buying Saudi Arabia a missile defense system for
Yes.
$100 million.
Yeah,
Probably
Or
in
$946
exchange
million
for
dollars, like basically $1 billion.
in exchange for continued oil concessions
and influence, yeah.
and influence.
Yeah, so the multi-million-dollar
Regional influence.
award is the first installment of what is expected to be a $15 billion deal. So it's just
Okay,
the
so
first.
this is just step one.
In November,
So we're okay. Go ahead.
CNBC learned that Saudi Arabia had signed a letter of offer and acceptance with the United States for Lockheed Martin's THAAD missile system, a significant step toward the $15 billion deal. Saudi officials, alongside their U.S. counterparts, signed the crucial government-to-government agreement November 26th, paving the way for a massive sale of 44 THAAD launchers, missiles, and related equipment. So this is a huge fucking deal.
Right.
$15 billion. So it sounds like we're basically giving them $15 billion in defense.
So I'm assuming that Saudi is coming up with some money for this, right? I mean,
I'm not
no.
sure, maybe.
Here's probably what's happening. So these missiles are going to have to be staffed at sites. So probably what the deal, I don't know. The deal might look something like this. We get more bases and we get more influence and more troops in your country to man these missile
Can
sites.
you click on the article that CNBC learned so we can maybe get some
Yeah, we can get an idea of like what
So what was the deal?
was actually
it's
fucking.
just-
It's just this
it's just-
again.
It's just the same.
It's the same
It
fucking-
links
Whatever.
to itself.
What the fuck was it linked to itself? Maybe if we scroll down, it'll tell us a little bit more and we can figure out.
Yeah, it's really not very long. Blah blah blah.
This
blah.
basically explains why we're why we're doing it. The
Sale
sale,
of the
yeah,
THAAD
okay,
missile
go ahead.
defense system benefits U.S. national security by supporting the long-term security of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf region in the face of growing ballistic missile threat from the. Okay, so this is just
So basically, it's us.
this
yeah.
is just us putting. We're basically trying to use Saudi Arabia as a pawn against Iran.
We're not trying to. We are.
We are
Yeah.
using. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an ongoing fucking
And they will-
proxy war,
and they'll happily agree because they hate those people.
and that's
so,
why we're
yeah.
funding it
Fuck
course.
this.
because we
dude.
we've picked a side in the proxy
And
war.
it's also close to
and guess,
Russia.
And guess who's supporting Iran in this proxy war? Guess
it
who's
be-
funding missile sites and sending military technology to
China.
Iran?
I'll take Russia for 1,000.
China and Russia.
Oh
Russia
wow!
and China.
How'd you guys guess?
I don't know. It must have been just a lucky guess.
Oh my god, man! When didn't I tell you to give me some good news, TJ?
Okay.
It's all been depressing news.
Florida bill would ban the banning of plastic straws.
Yeah,
Straw
freedom, dude.
vote.
Freedom.
Metal straws or riot.
SB 588 also prohibits local bans on selling sunscreen that harm coral reefs.
I'm good with that.
A bill putting a 5-year moratorium on local laws that ban plastic straws while state officials study the issue cleared a Senate committee Monday on a party line vote. The bill, SB 588, also prohibits local bans on selling sunscreen that harm coral reefs. Sponsor Travis Hudson, Republican St. Augustine, said he appreciates the environmental problems posed by plastic straws, but is just not a fan of government on the state or local level telling a business what to do.
Hey, dude, this is actually good.
No, it's
This
not.
is no, TJ, this
No,
is
it's really
good.
not. No, it's not.
Let me tell you why it's good.
Okay, you can tell me.
That 5-year ban for them to study the effects of the straws.
Yeah.
Here's what we do: take each one of these politicians that voted for this moratorium, right? Mm-hmm. And cram a couple of plastic straws up one of their nostrils and deep into one of their sinuses, and then leave it there for 5 fucking years, like a lot of these ocean animals have to deal with, or longer. But we'll give them 5 years. That'll be their study. And then at the end of it, they can decide if they want to fucking just have some paper straws.
Unrelated news story. Every animal pulled from the deepest part of the ocean had plastic in its gut. Oh, I guess that is kind of related, huh?
Yeah, I guess it is. No, it's directly related.
Oops, I guess it's kind of related. What a mistake.
I mean, look, dude, I like straws as much as the next dude. I use straws when I go to the fucking McDonald's and shit.
Sure,
I'm not going to claim
sure.
to be some
I'm using it.
anti-straw.
I got a straw right now.
TJ's got a plastic
Fuck
straw
you,
there.
TJ.
I will tell you this: I got metal straws in my house that
Yeah.
we use.
Dude, I'm more than happy to use a paper straw
Yeah, dude.
or whatever the
I've
fuck.
used them.
They're fine.
They're the same as a fucking plastic straw. They do the same job. It's the same thing. You suck the liquid up through them into your mouth.
and they're biodegradable.
la-
so.
last-
and,
year-
and when you throw them away, they just kind of deteriorate back into the soil. They don't fucking hang around for 3,000 years lodged in a narwhal's nose, okay?
Well, the thing is too is that like when we all went to California, like most places didn't have plastic straws, and it didn't matter. It wasn't like, oh my god, I can't drink this drink now. It's not a huge sacrifice to make. It really is not.
No, it isn't. Like, if you're on, like, whatever, I'm not going to go through the reasons. This is fucking retarded, and these politicians are retarded. What a fucking stupid thing to be doing.
I mean, look
at
at
a
this
time
here.
when, like, our oceans are dying, our planet is fucking trying to shake us off like a bad case of the fleas, and we're voting to, like, it's like we got a cancer patient on our hands. But the cancer is the Earth, and we're voting to, like, you know what? Smoke some more.
Yeah.
Have him smoke some more and do some more rapid exercise. Get his heart pumping real hard. Scare him a lot.
Yeah, put on a couple more pounds. Get a little fatter.
Stop that chemotherapy and just let him sit there for a while.
Let him eat a
It'll cure
vegan diet.
itself.
Woman tells TripAdvisor she was raped by tour guide. TripAdvisor tells her to leave a negative
I
review.
cannot believe. Oh, this is why automated responses just don't work out sometimes.
Is this, wait a minute, automated?
Like they have they have these canned responses. So if these people don't even read, like it's like I was not happy for this reason, and they send you a canned response, which is like we're sorry to hear that. You should leave a negative review.
TripAdvisor has been accused of failing to protect its users after 2 women complained of being raped by staff of companies promoted on the travel information website. According to emails seen by The Guardian, one woman, named only as Kay, contacted TripAdvisor to complain of a sexual assault by a tour guide, but was simply told to leave a bad review for the guide on the website. TripAdvisor refused to remove the company from its online
you made an
listings.
allegation, and that's the problem.
Kay told the hotel in question about the attack and filed a police report, and then told TripAdvisor she wished to warn fellow tourists of the potential danger, but the company simply suggested she leave a first-person review on the website detailing the assault.
Okay, so here's the thing. I hate to do the devil's advocate thing here, but TripAdvisor, as I understand it, right, is just one of these like aggregate websites that gets all the best deals from all the different hotels.
And there's like a ranking. So let's say you're going somewhere, right?
Right.
Like you're going to fucking Fresno, and you want to fucking say what's the best hotel, what's the best price?
Yeah, find me
all
the
that.
cheapest hotel in this price range
that's
in
highest
Fresno.
rated.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. Okay, so that's what it is. So like every hotel that's had somebody raped in it has to be pulled off a TripAdvisor now?
Yeah.
Isn't that every hotel?
Probably.
Like I don't
Especially
get it.
if rape is as common as
Not only this, but like what like so you got raped. Let's say I believe her. Let's say she got raped by an employee of this hotel.
Let's say it's true, yes.
And she filed a police report and everything.
Yep.
Does that mean that hotel is a hive of rape that should not have another person stay in it because one of their employees went off the rails and raped the customer once?
yes.
I don't understand.
That
Like,
is-
Welcome
Individual.
to the rape hotel.
Well, that's that individuals. Obviously, they were the one responsible for that. Whether that happened or not, that's the legal system has to sort that out. But
right, as long as the hotel didn't like
Condone
defend him or help him perpetrate the rape,
Yeah.
then if they cooperated with authorities, they didn't do anything wrong.
How are you gonna look? People. That's how those hotels get fucking people to book. They go to these major sites and they're paying to have their listings sponsored. Like taking that off is gonna kill their fucking business. Like I said, every time someone did something questionable at one of these properties, and they have to take them off of the fucking site, that's going to lose them a huge source of advertising. Of course, TripAdvisor is going to defend its own business model.
Another woman, Christine Damon, 44, from Toronto, Canada, said her review detailing a sexual assault by a security guard at the Grand Bahia Príncipe Turquesa Hotel in the Dominican Republic was buried by more than
But
2,600
doesn't that
reviews
speak
by
to
other guests.
how exceptional your experience was? And it's horrible if that's what happened. But at the same time, how is TripAdvisor responsible for that?
Right.
What about all the other sites
here's
that
what
people
she's-
can buy from?
Here's what they want. The resort is currently rated 4 to 5 stars. Blah blah blah. They definitely should not. They definitely should have a different kind of review system for these types of incidents, so they're not buried in with everyone's review.
TripAdvisor is not
So they're
responsible
supposed to.
for your rape.
She's asking for like a highlighted, like, "Were you raped here?"
Yeah.
comment section. You know.
Warning, someone might have, because it's not even done yet. This is still, like, as far as I can tell, as of the writing of this article, an allegation of rape.
Yes.
So,
I think what if,
like, she's asking for a "somebody was possibly raped here" button, which is like, I don't even understand what she's asking for. This is just absurd.
I can understand maybe there being something developed where it's like, you know, like a women's safety site where it's like, hey, this is these hotels have ratings, and you could. And
That's
you
what
take,
she should do.
And you take it with a grain of salt to say like this is an allegation that's been made, or no, this has actually been proven.
If she really wants to be a crusader against this and other places where women get raped at hotels and whatever,
'Cause-
create a website called was someone raped here.com or something like that for
there's,
women to
like-
check before they go on trips.
There's actually a site because when we were moving from Ohio to Seattle that I basically looked for like it tells you where you can bring what hotels accept pets basically, and I use that. So I mean, if there's a site, if they could do that on a site that tells you like what's friendly for that, like if someone there's a ton of bad experiences at a resort or a hotel, hey, people can put that out there and say, look, this is my experience, this is my opinion.
But
whatever.
TripAdvisor is just a place that helps people find deals. This was a
Yeah, that's it.
resort, so it's clearly a giant place. If you were raped I don't need to go over it again. I already said everything that needed to be said. This is absurd for her to think that TripAdvisor should do anything different for her.
Here's why people are now calling Mr. Rogers a bisexual icon.
I never knew.
Okay.
Just like that, Mr. Rogers, a character created by former Minister Fred Rogers on the popular children's TV series Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, has reappeared in the public consciousness thanks to both a 2018 documentary by Morgan Neville and an upcoming biopic that will see Tom Hanks take on the role of a beloved TV personality.
I don't know how I feel about that.
But as you may have noticed, this week, people have also started to refer to Mr. Rogers as a bisexual icon. What on earth could be behind that? As it turns out, Fred Rogers may have identified as a member of the LGBTQ community, even if, unsurprisingly, he never used that specific terminology. To be clear, it's unlikely that Fred Rogers ever referred to himself as bisexual. Evidence for the idea of Mr. Rogers as a bisexual icon isn't even new. It actually comes straight from the September 2018 book, The Good Neighbor by Maxwell King, an in-depth look at one of TV's and history's most influential pop culture personalities. In the book, Fred Rogers is speaking with a friend of his, the openly gay Dr. William Hirsch, about the idea of the Kinsey scale, also known as the heterosexual-homosexual rating scale, which posits that every individual falls somewhere along the scale from 0 to 6, with heterosexuality and homosexuality occupying the scale's polar ends. Mr. Rogers is quoted as saying, "Well, you know, I must be smack in the middle because I have found women attractive and I have found men attractive." A statement like that would tend to place someone near the middle of the Kinsey scale. As you can imagine, members of the LGBTQ community were ecstatic to discover they had a bisexual icon in the likes of Mr. Rogers.
I mean, if it's true,
I didn't know.
I mean, if it's true, that's interesting, but I mean, it also feels like it's kind of just like trying to let's claim Mr. Rogers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mr. Rogers
I kinda
now
see from-
belongs to the
I mean,
bisexual collective.
I don't fucking know. I mean, look, he might have made that statement, but we don't know what the context of that statement is. If that means like he really wanted to fuck those people or what, I don't know.
Right.
So I mean, that taking one statement and conflating to this seems like a little much.
He
but-
was
but I don't
very
know.
inclusive, and so yeah, he might have made that statement in, you know, like to appear just to be nice old Mr. Rogers like he always was. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know, man. Here's the I'm with Scotty. It's fine to feel good, like if you're a bisexual person and you think that Fred Rogers was bi. Maybe he was.
Maybe.
And that makes you feel good. I don't see a problem with that. But don't hoist him up like a flag, okay? Because he wasn't about that.
Mr. Rogers loved pussy, but he also loved the dick.
It's because like it's really hard to find anyone that has anything bad to say about Mr. Rogers, dude. It really is. I mean, like, and truly, even when you hear it, it almost seems like, is this a troll? I mean, you almost have to believe it's a troll.
And honestly, when it comes to Fred Rogers, it seems sad to me that something as trivial as his sexuality would be why his name would be mentioned again.
Yeah.
Rather than the fact that he was like one of the most dedicated people ever when it came to education of kids. Not just the education of kids.
So you don't think Tom Hanks could pull it off?
I don't know, man. Old Hanks ain't young Hanks. Can I just say that?
Old Hanks ain't young Hanks.
But anyway, as I was saying, TJ, Fred Rogers was an educator of kids, but he was also somebody that cared about the inner lives of kids, and that's rare. And I grew up watching him, and I'm glad that I did. It was like having another family member in the house, and I don't care if he fucking sucked dick or licked pussy or
Whatever
both
the
at the
fuck you
same
wanted to
time.
do, man.
Tom Hanks is going to kill it. Fuck you, Paul.
We'll see, man.
Texas judge disciplined after claiming God told him defendant was innocent.
Well, God just done told me you innocent, sir. You're free to go. I don't see a problem. He was divinely told the guy was innocent. What else do you guys need?
A Como County District judge
on.
received a public warning.
Look, before you start, TJ, just look at that judge. That's my favorite part about being a judge.
A public warning after he told the jury to keep deliberating over a defendant they convicted because God told him she was innocent. So
Somebody
basically,
remove this stupid old fart from the bench,
I
please.
feel-
Judge
innocent.
Jack Robinson reported himself to the Texas Commission on Judicial Conduct after the outburst on January 12th, 2018, according to the committee's disciplinary action. Robinson presided over the trial of Gloria Romero Perez, who was charged with continuous sex trafficking and the sale or purchase of a child. When Robinson was informed the jury reached a guilty verdict, he told them her conviction would be a miscarriage of justice and asked them to keep deliberating. The judge later apologized to the jury and said something to the effect of, "When God tells me I got to do something, I got to do it," officials wrote in the report. So basically, the jury came back and said, "This bitch is guilty." And the judge is like, "No, keep deliberating. God has spoken. Go back and come back with the right verdict."
Remove this idiot from the bench immediately.
Did Gloria Romero Perez fucking suck this judge's dick? What the fuck is going on here?
Maybe she's got some dirt on him or something.
Yeah, maybe she knows something about the judge.
Maybe what was she doing? Trafficking,
She was trafficking
a child in sex.
Yep, sex trafficking.
Sounds like we may need to dig into the judge. He may be a client.
Yeah, dude. Well, no, he's just a believer in God.
God told me this woman is innocent.
Go back. Come back with the proper verdict.
God tells people a lot of things. He tells fucking rich televangelists they need private jets. Tells this guy this fucking bitch that was guilty of child trafficking was innocent. God has a lot of mixed messages.
And he's just disciplined. You know what that means? Golf vacation. Golf vacation for you, buddy. You know what? Till this all blows over, here's what you're going to do. You ever been to Scotland? I got some of the most beautiful greens in Scotland, man. You're going to love it there. I got a friend set you up with a little cottage. Take 2 weeks off. I'll handle your caseload.
Oh, he blamed delirium, by the way.
Delirium. Then what's he doing on the bench if he's prone to outbursts of delirium? That doesn't sound like something
Sounds
I
like
want a
it's-
judge doing.
Sounds like it's time to retire. An ancient Japanese shrine debuts a Buddhist robot.
Whoa, dude.
Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. It is time to pray to the one single mind at the center of us all.
Kyoto, Japan's ancient former capital, is home to temple shrines and imperial gardens. As the birthplace of Japanese tradition, the city attracts some 53 million tourists every year. Recently, the famed 400-year-old Kadaji Temple in Kyoto unveiled a modern makeover. The world's first sutra-chanting android deity, modeled after Kannon, the Buddhist goddess of mercy, was introduced to the public last week. Kannon is worshipped by thousands of temples in Japan as a deity who helps people in distress. Now the country's fascination with robotics has made its way into that worship. Kodaji Temple Administrator Tensho Goto wanted to spread the word of Buddhism to a younger generation losing touch with the tradition. He enlisted the help of pioneer Professor Hiroshi Ishiguro, head of the intelligent robotics at Osaka University, who made a name for himself in robotics research on the world stage. So this is the robot they built, and apparently people show up and kind of worship the robot.
Jaigo Rodav, Jaigo Rodav, Jaigo Rodav, Namyo Rengekyo, Namyo Rengekyo, Dude, Japanese people are weird, man. They sell out arenas to see a holographic anime chick sing songs that aren't even sung by a real person in the first place. They're electronic voice, dude. But it's kind of like, I think it's a peek at the future. I think Japan, more than any other country, is aware of the eventual blending of man and machine. And they're just kind of like celebrating it early, I think.
Yeah,
with
they're
this
just
shit.
they're just early adopters.
Dude, they're just
You know
prepping,
what?
dude.
Right now, yeah, this is hella weird that
Dude.
people are showing up to like pray in front of this, especially looking like this. Like, why not put a nice hat on it? Why have a bit, like, show that it's got a cavernous nothing in its head and then have a wire hanging out the front
Dude,
of it?
I think they want it to look like a robot.
Japan
though.
is like the futuristic preppers, dude. They're just getting ready for like when we all worship robots and shit. When the great AI tells us how to fucking survive the flood or the storm, you know, because humans are gonna be fucking even more hapless as technology just fucking builds up around us, dude. We're gonna need these AI to be like, Paul, you must do this to survive.
Prying open my third AI.
I, for one, welcome our AI
The
dictators.
Democratic National Committee said
Shut up, bitch.
The
Dems
Democratic-
won't let Fox News host primary debates.
Why not?
The Democratic National Committee, DNC, said Wednesday it would not permit Fox News to host a presidential primary debate, citing an explosive story this week alleging deep ties between the conservative network and President Trump's inner circle. Mm-hmm. In a statement, DNC Chairman Tom Perez said he had held conversations with Fox News about potentially allowing the network to host a primary debate. But he said the story published in The New Yorker caused him to end the conversation with the network.
So basically, got a bunch of heat, and he's like, "Oh, we never knew about this. We don't want any part of it."
Yeah, Fox News has hosted some Democratic debates in the past. It was always kind of weird that they bothered, hosting debates on Fox News. Like, I don't see why you'd have a Republican debate on MSNBC or a Democrat debate on Fox News, considering that both of those parties are pretty aligned with the opposition. Like, MSNBC is the mainstream Democratic
Dude, fuck
news
that. I want to
agency.
see that shit, dude. I want to see these people fucking argue and fight, dude. I want the moderator to be a fucking prick to the fucking
know,
people.
It's been done before, and, it's...
CNN is vying for that title these days, though.
Oh,
They've become the Never Trump network.
Oh yeah, well a lot of
Just
MSNBC and CNN are both that.
But I want to combine.
But I
it with,
think
like, some
MSNBC is way more of a just like we're straight up the Democrat Party line.
dude. But fuck that shit. Build it to a storyline. Then the fucking people have to fight, dude.
Right.
So if one of the hosts is giving one of these guys a lot of shit, they can be like, let's just fucking settle this, dude.
I think they should just get away from doing it in cooperation with these news agencies.
I
and
don't know,
just
man.
fucking-
I gotta be honest with you.
It'll never happen.
I'm genuinely against this. I think that more debates is a good thing, and so I think that the DNC should allow any news agency that they want
there's gonna be
to put a debate because,
there's gonna be a shit ton of debates. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Dude, the more the merrier. These fucking politicians. Like, I understand that primary time and election time is like a harried time for politicians, but I think it should be worse. I think they should just have an endless gauntlet of debates with just like shifting crazy questions
And,
they've got to come
you
up
should have
with.
these
no-
fucking
with
these
prep
town hall
for.
things where you have people come in, they're not pre-screened and ask fucking real questions.
I'm not
to
really
these pieces of
I'm
shit.
not really interested in seeing a Democratic debate on Fox News. Now, if you wanted to do
I
a
am.
Democratic debate on hosted by InfoWars or something where you're going to get the real off the wall questions, then I'd be in favor of that. But
I'm for like town hall type of shit.
now that's good. But you know what? The problem with town hall is that it's totally lost its meaning now because town halls aren't even really town halls anymore. Everything's so manufactured and pre-selected.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm saying no.
if
do
you're
away
talking
with all
about a
that.
real,
Yes.
open, raucous town hall
Yes.
with real fucking people asking real fucking questions, then okay. But if it's gonna be this pre-selected, like
No, that's garbage. We don't need it.
fake town hall, like you keep seeing all over the place,
I
then
don't know.
fuck that.
I just want them to be exposed to more like here's the thing I hate about debates.
How about
And
this for a debate idea? How about you just sit a bunch of these motherfuckers at like round tables, like 5 people on a table, no moderator, and they just have to argue shit out amongst themselves in like a free form discussion, and
So
each
like,
make their
so
appeal.
like real time with Bill Maher.
Yeah,
Why not just make
That'd be
the
cool.
internet the town hall?
yeah.
Why not just like, pre-screened questions for obvious troll questions, but then just put everything in a big random selector and it's just like rapid fire fucking questions from the internet.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to see a politician struggle to answer, like, have you ever been so far as to, whatever the fuck that stupid shit is?
Well, that's what I hate about debates, is that what it ends up being, and the reason why I like the last election cycle, Trump saved debates.
Yeah.
Like, I watched them all just because he was in them, because I wanted to see who he was going to cuck.
Low energy.
But, like, most debates are ruined by the fact that it's just like fucking memorized answers to softball questions.
And unfortunately, in this climate, there's like, how many people? I mean, like every other fucking registered Democrat in America is running for president this year. So
You remember when Marco Rubio's like fucking medulla oblongata short circuited and he
Yeah.
just kept repeating
He
the
couldn't
same
stop repeating the
prep
same
over and over.
line
That's
over
the
and over
problem is like we live in an environment now where we've allowed politicians to do what I would do or what any actor would do to prep for a role, which is just memorize a script. Like, I don't want to hear your rote, memorized bullshit that was given to you by committee.
I don't know.
I want to hear what the fuck you think in your head, motherfucker.
I think that it was. I mean, like, I think that the you know, the way that it was used against Marco Rubio though was so great because you basically got to his Republican opponents aided him in short circuiting. And even after they pointed out, you just still couldn't resist saying it again.
He just kept doing it. Yeah, because he was so... And you know why that was?
Because
he sat for fucking like probably 24 straight hours and drilled prep. And that was one of the things. Hammer this home, Marco. Every time you get a chance to say it. Keep saying it, Marco. Keep saying it,
So even
Marco.
after it was pointed out, he still couldn't, like, break it.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
He was just a drone.
Too prepped. Too
Robo
well
Marco.
rehearsed.
Well, I mean,
Is that what you want at a debate? That's not what I want at a
It's
debate.
pretty obvious. A lot of these politicians are just a
but
fucking facade, anyway.
I think that
I have no real opinions.
What I'm saying is that him doing that ultimately backfired on him.
Well, here's why I think it's sad that Fox News doesn't get to hold a Democratic debate. And maybe whatever. Every other one of the debates that gets held by one of the major networks is going to do exactly what I talked about. Lob softballs all day.
Yep.
At the very least, Fox News would lob some tough fucking questions at these motherfuckers that they may have to think about or may have a tough time prepping for.
Fuck them prepping, dude. They get on the stage. They want to be the president of this country. It's obvious they should be asked these questions, and that's it. They should have no advance notice. They should be like, "Yep, you're going to be here at this time for the debate."
Yeah, see, that's my thing. Is like I'm fine with them prepping in a general way because they're going to do it anyway. If you do that, if you randomize it, they're going to prep in the 6 months prior to when that starts.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
You know what I mean? So I'm fine with them. I'm fine with keeping it the way it is and letting them generally prep. What I'm not fine with is lobbing them softballs and allowing them to just basically recite a script that they've memorized.
And the people that moderate shouldn't let those softballs, one, be in there, and two, if someone gives a fucking bullshit answer, they should be like, that answer is inadequate.
Right.
Like, that answer is just a dodge. Mm-hmm. And if they don't want to answer any further, that's fine, but point out they're basically just dodging answering the question.
That would require them to, like, actually stand up to the people.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen Fox News host Democratic debates in the past, and I've always watched because I was kind of interested to see how it was going to go, and I've always been disappointed by.
It's run of the mill.
It doesn't come across any different than a CNN debate because Fox News doesn't want to appear biased in that context.
Sure.
So they just wear the kid gloves like everyone else.
Right.
Now, if they were going to do something else, then maybe. I mean, that's why I said I'd rather see like InfoWars or Breitbart or someone who's truly on the right host one of these debates and ask these motherfuckers tough right-wing questions.
Right fart.
Yep, right fart. Kurt Schlechter. Socialists will take your car and feed you vegan nightmare food.
Whoa, dude.
Holy shit.
Socialists coming to take your car.
Vegan nightmare food.
There is no example in recorded history where the people promoting socialism didn't, at the same time, simply assume that they were going to be the ones in charge. Now, if you went to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her commie friends and said, great, we will take socialism, we will impose it, but none of you advocates for it can in any way participate in its operation. You cannot run it. You will not have positions of power in it. Well, then it'll become a lot less attractive because it's not attractive.
By the way,
That'll become a lot less attractive.
Oh,
You would
hate
know
it.
a lot about not being attractive, huh, buddy?
have we critiqued him on the same thing that we critiqued a certain individual about? He's got a Yeti, and Yetis literally come with a card in it that shows a big stupid cartoon ape speaking into the head of the mic.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it with a big X through it.
No.
And here's another dude that sounds like shit because he's not speaking. Like we're hearing what's coming out of his throat, not what's coming out of his mouth.
Correct.
Yeah, you're not using that mic. Is that mic even plugged in?
It's a sound wave, dude. It travels.
Isn't that
Wait a
that
minute.
the mic? The Yeti doesn't even look like it's plugged in.
Hold on, dude. They can't see it because you've got it trimmed over there.
You're right. Hold on. Let me
I don't know if you can fix that for them at all, but
make this a little smaller.
if what I'm seeing is correct,
Hold on. I'm gonna have to show you guys this.
Is it plugged in?
No, I don't think it is.
just like take your mouse off of it and zoom in.
No, hold on. I'm gonna bring it over here because then they can see the full thing. Yeah, check this out. This is kind of interesting here. Video.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it is. It is.
It is?
On the right. I can see the little
Yeah,
cord coming
you know
out.
what, you're right. It's plugged
It
in.
is. It's
Okay.
plugged in.
Oh, it's plugged in through that.
But he's just speaking into it like the dumb monkey.
Yeah, so he is using it wrong. I guess it is plugged in.
He's
at
the dumb
least.
Yeti, dude. He's the Yeti that just doesn't fucking learn his lesson.
Yeah. So anyway,
stayed to be the guy not making the decisions. You know, when they talk about universal health care, the health care for you is going to be a long line at a doctor, 7-month wait.
Did you hear how
to
much
get some-
better he sounded when he leaned back and his voice started hitting the part of the mic that was supposed to be picking up his voice? I'm sorry to focus on nothing but his improper use of his fucking mic.
well, how about his improper use of reality? Because he's sitting there once again. Like, how do all these conservatives think they're gonna just get away with lying about the healthcare system of every other developed nation on the fucking face of the earth?
You're gonna
And
wait
talk
7
about,
months?
You're gonna wait 7 months. They'll be lying. They'll be horrible. It's like there's so many countries out there who have universal healthcare systems that have way better outcomes than us and spend tremendously less than us.
Shut up, liberal. Won't work here. TJ, look. Our
And yet,
country,
you guys persist in
look
this
how big
lie.
our country is, TJ. Look
They
how
act.
big it is.
I'm just tired of them acting like it's this hypothetical fucking thing.
Too big. Country's too big.
It's not hypothetical.
Bro.
It's been tried all over the fucking globe.
It's a fantasy. We're broke.
It's socialism.
Dude, they have no real
It's
fucking
socialism,
argument.
TJ.
It's just like
You can't deny it, TJ.
it's the same shit. You're gonna wait longer. You're gonna pay more. You're gonna have death panels. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of scare tactics.
Oh,
Like,
it's
look,
scare tactics?
It is.
Let me tell you a scare tactic right here.
All right.
Benito Mussolini.
Damn.
Benito Mussolini killed something like 1800 million Jews during the Italian uprising.
Damn.
Socialist.
Socialism.
Checkmate.
Joseph Stalin
But
killed like a whole bunch of Ruskies.
He was a communist, though.
Hold up.
Same
socialists,
difference.
the people in charge. Then
Same
There
difference.
will be just fine. There will be no expense spared.
Better dead
They
than
will
red.
fly on jets. You will not.
Yep.
They will have cars. You won't. They
Wow.
will eat hamburgers.
So it's just
You
right
will
wing
eat
fear
some sort of
mongering,
vegan
basically.
Nightmare food.
No one will drive a car. Everyone will be forced to be a vegan.
I ain't gonna
Oh my God! No more
Let me
hamburgers.
tell you something. The people in charge of the socialism, they gonna have hamburgers and jets and cars, and you ain't gonna have none of that. You gonna have a rusty old bicycle and some rabbit food's what you get.
Exactly.
You little fucking turd. That's what you gonna get under socialism.
You know what? You didn't have no
Your free
counter-argument.
universal health care is gonna be a fucking acupuncturist gonna stick needles in your eyeballs. That's gonna be your fucking universal health care. You sound good now, liberal?
You can put on your fake accent all you want, but everybody heard you dodge my question. Everybody heard you dodge my question about socialism, TJ. You can't deny that if they are going to take away my choice to buy from a different company and put it into the hands of the government, that's going to be socialism. And you ain't got nothing to say to that. You can put on a big old parade like we're all dummies or whatever, because we talk like a certain way. Mm-hmm. But yet you ain't got no answer to the points that I brought
Ain't
up.
got an answer. You know what? Another thing too. How many illegals gonna get universal health care, TJ?
They already have it.
Yep.
They already have it.
They got on a
You know
silver
what?
platter,
They
TJ.
got a legal universal health care because when they come over here, they go to the goddamn hospital. Who picks up the tab for that? The people.
Johnny taxpayer.
Yep. Just like
Yep.
socialism.
Oh, they get
come right
they
in
get
your
the
paycheck.
Medicaid. They get the welfare. They get it all.
Oh, let me tell you something. Jose tripped while he was mowing my yard, and he needs an aspirin at the hospital. That's going to be $10 out of your paycheck. How you feel about that, TJ?
I don't like it, Paul. You know
Jose, for Jose's aspirin.
You have
but
convinced
a
me.
hard-working white man,
what?
born
Get
right
nothing.
here,
Nothing.
born right here, born right here, born and raised
Born in the
right
USA, right here, y'all.
can't go into the goddamn hospital unless he's got an insurance card. Now, how fucked up is that? TJ?
Don't let
You ain't got
socialism
no answer.
steal America.
You ain't got no answer, TJ.
Are you damn? I ain't trying to answer you, Paul.
You ain't got no answer.
Socialism.
You ain't got no answer.
Don't let them. Don't let them. They're coming.
TJ.
Don't let them. Don't let them.
Dude, fucking Paul have like, they're going insane. Whoa, oh, whoa! Holy shit, this is a hell of a statement.
Socialism.
Tired of fucking pussyfooting around this shit.
Yeah.
This goddamn
What the fuck,
echo
dude?
chamber of a fucking podcast has needed a conservative
Paul,
voice for
what
a
are you-
long
What
time.
are you trying to say, Paul?
What I'm trying to say is Can you read, Scotty?
Well, I'm a liberal.
Make-
So no. I'm a liberal. I can't read.
America great again, Scotty. Make America great again. I've been sick. I've been sick and tired of the liberal echo chamber, the constant. Oh, look at this. Conservatives are stupid. Oh, look at this. Trump is retarded. Oh, Russia. I've been playing the fucking role. And you know what? I told you guys at the start of this that I would be like, I'd go along with the liberal shit, but I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Make America great again. Fuck this socialist liberal bullshit. It leads down a path that we all know where it ends. And Trump 2020.
Trump 2020.
Yeah.
Dude, Paul's finally become enlightened, dude.
Yeah.
Paul's woke now. Watch out.
Oh, I've been woke.
Watch out.
All this I don't vote shit. I voted for Trump immediately. As soon
Instantly.
as I could. I was the first dude in line at the poll. I vote every fucking. Like, these people are so stupid. They believe anything, you know?
That Mark Lahamond guy on Twitter just
No.
creamed his pants, dude.
I actually, I have a good tie-in for this, and we didn't cover it. When we went to that, you can put your camera back, TJ. Jesus Christ, you don't need to fucking shoot me like I'm a
Blobfish.
documentary subject here.
The Blobfish documentary.
When we went to that fucking that New Orleans parade. Mm-hmm. Oh, we did talk about this, didn't we?
Yep.
How I scammed.
Yeah, we talked about how you scammed all the MAGA
where
hat
did we
people.
talk about that at?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Ideology you guys talked about it, I think, wasn't it?
Maybe. It was
I
somewhere.
don't think it was on the show.
I don't
Was it
remember
not?
talking about it on the show,
I do remember us talking about it.
but it was kind of fun. I want to try and do that next year because I know Trump's going to be like huge at the next Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah. Trumpy Gras.
Trumpagras,
It
dude.
worked for you, dude. You got a bunch of people like, yeah.
Oh, dude, I got
MAGA.
tons of beads.
MAGA! MAGA, no MAGA!
I borrowed this hat from TJ because he was already
Well,
getting shit
that-
just sitting there.
That'll work on the North Shore, dude. I don't think on New Orleans, maybe not as much. Maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe Metairie, I don't know. Go
You know
for
what,
it, man.
dude? If I go to one in New Orleans, I'm just gonna make a big billboard of Trump's face and put a bullseye on it, and just like have people hit it. Well, maybe I probably wouldn't get away with that.
Yeah.
You can't put
Oh,
a
you could get away with
Bullseye on
that.
the president's
You can't put a
face is not
bullseye
good
on the
idea.
president's
you
face.
Could, you
can
could put like throw here though or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week with some more news. And be
We
back
got
Friday
the
for
news that
patrons.
you can use. Flash fried.
Flash fried.